Paris, late evening. A map of the city glows on Claude Lebel's desk, circles and red lines crossing over familiar streets. His eyes are bloodshot, exhaustion etched into his face. He flips through the reports again, searching for the flaw that keeps slipping through their fingers. The Jackal has escaped every trap. Too clean, too fast, almost as if someone inside is feeding him information. Previously, the Jackal has outsmarted every authority, every trap, every surveillance detail. Twice now, Lebel has been hours late to the exact places the Jackal had already passed through. Some on the council still call it luck, but Lebel knows better. This is not luck. Someone is leaking. At the next emergency meeting, tension runs high. Ministers argue, voices raised, some accusing Lebel of overcomplicating things, but he remains silent, watching each of them carefully. Then he makes a move that changes everything. He orders all their phones tapped. The council resists at first, but his reputation and quiet persistence win. Days later, the truth emerges. One voice, a betrayer inside their own ranks. An Air Force officer, once proud, has been feeding scraps of information straight to the OAS. When confronted, the man collapses under the weight of his guilt. He withdraws, hands trembling, submitting his resignation in disgrace. The Jackal's so-called luck had never been luck. It was betrayal. Now, stripped of his insider advantage, the hunter is exposed. Or so they think. Meanwhile in London, Inspector Thomas pursues a different lead. He digs through piles of reports, stolen passports, missing identities. One by one he marks them off, cross-referencing with recent movement across Europe. Then he sees it, a pattern. One name, then another. Fake trails that converge on one final alias. A contingency identity, ready to be burned at the last moment. Thomas alerts Lebel. They are closing in. The Jackal's arrival in Paris. Rain lashes against the streets as the Jackal steps off a train. He blends into the crowd seamlessly, his sharp eyes taking in every police presence. Just ahead, a checkpoint blocks the exit. Officers inspect IDs searching for his face. He lowers his head, changes his gait, and slips through a side passage. Seconds later, the officers move on, unaware of how close they came. The Jackal checks into a small hotel under his last emergency alias. He disposes of the old identity, leaving behind no trace, no paper, no photograph. He is now someone else. For most men, a manhunt this intense would force them into hiding, but for the Jackal, this is the final stretch. The hunt excites him. He knows the perfect day, the perfect moment, is near. In the council room, the ministers shuffle nervously as Lebel lays out his theory. President is the ultimate prize, the one man the OAS cannot forgive. But when will the strike happen? Lebel spreads out a calendar. His finger stops on one date. August 25th, Liberation Day, the day Paris celebrates freedom from Nazi occupation. The one day the president is guaranteed to be in public. The one day he cannot hide. The room goes silent. They all know he's right. The president himself, against his instinct for secrecy, gives permission for the Jackal's photo and name to be published. Newspapers across France splash his face across front pages. The hunt is now public. Roger Frey, triumphant, dismisses Lebel with congratulations. The case is over, he claims. The Jackal is exposed, the net is tight, the manhunt will end in days. But Lebel feels unease. Something about this feels too easy. While police flood the streets, the Jackal adjusts. He changes. This time he slips into a Parisian gay bar, blending with the shadows. His latest identity, Martin Schulberg, is already compromised. A news report mentions his name, painting him as a wanted killer. A local man approaches him, intrigued. They leave together, walking down narrow streets. At the man's flat, laughter and quiet conversation mask the tension. But when the report repeats again on television, the local turns to him with suspicion. The Jackal does what he always does. Swift, clean, silent. The man collapses, lifeless. The Jackal shuts the blinds and waits. For 3 more days he hides in plain sight. The net tightens, but the Jackal remains invisible. The final day. August 25th, Paris wakes in celebration. Crowds fill the streets waving flags, music echoing through the air. At Place du 18 Juin 1940, a stage is prepared where the president will present medals to resistance veterans. Security is doubled, checkpoints strict, every eye alert. But among the veterans, a figure moves slowly on crutches. His leg is bandaged, his uniform worn. To the guards, he looks like a war hero. To the world, he looks harmless. But inside that crutch lies death, a custom sniper rifle, polished, oiled, and ready. Meanwhile, Lebel patrols the streets himself, rechecking every post. He refuses to leave anything to chance. As he questions a CRS guard, a detail catches his ear. The guard mentions a one-legged veteran who passed earlier. Something clicks in Lebel's mind. His stomach drops. The crutch. That's it. The weapon. The disguise. Without waiting, Lebel rushes toward the nearby apartment buildings overlooking the square. He shouts for the guards to follow. Inside, the Jackal assembles his weapon with calm precision. He positions himself at the window, lining up the perfect shot. His breathing slows. His finger steadies on the trigger. The president steps forward, saluting. The Jackal fires. But at that exact second, the president leans forward to kiss a veteran's cheek. The bullet slices past his head, missing by inches. Outside, Lebel and a CRS guard burst through the hallway, hearing the suppressed shot. They break the door open. The guard rushes in first. The Jackal whirls and fires, striking him in the chest. The guard collapses. Silence for half a second. Then, the eyes of hunter and detective meet. For a brief moment, the chase ends in silence. No words, only recognition. Two men who have measured each other from a distance, finally face to face. The Jackal reloads, sliding the last bullet into the chamber. Lebel, unarmed, dives for the fallen guard's weapon. His fingers close on the submachine gun. Both raise their weapons, both hesitate for a split second. The Jackal fires. The click of the trigger echoes empty. Too slow. Lebel squeezes the trigger, unleashing half a magazine into the Jackal's chest. The assassin is thrown back, crashing into the wall. His body slides down, lifeless. The hunt is over. In London, Special Branch raid the apartment of Charles Calthrop, still convinced he was the Jackal all along. But then the real Calthrop storms in, furious. He's been on holiday in Scotland the entire time. The truth hits them. If Calthrop wasn't the Jackal, then who was he? His real name, his past, his life, all vanish with his death. In Paris, a quiet ceremony is held. An unmarked grave receives the Jackal's body. The records mark him as an unknown foreign tourist killed in a car accident. No flags, no honours, no flowers. Only a priest, a policeman, a registrar, and grave diggers witness the burial. Among them stands Claude Lebel. His face gives nothing away. No triumph, no joy, only exhaustion. As the grave is sealed, he turns and walks away into the Paris night. The Jackal's story ends here. The chase between Lebel and the Jackal was more than a battle of skill. It was a duel of patience, precision, and obsession. One lived in shadows, the other in duty. In the end, both knew only one would walk away. So, what do you think? Did the Jackal's downfall come from one small mistake, or was Lebel always destined to catch him? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this retelling, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more cinematic breakdowns.